Don't just say this is about thoughts and prayers right now. These kids were literally praying. They should be able to go to school or church in peace without the fear or risk of violence, and their parents should have the same kind of assurance. These are the sort of basic assurances that every family should have, every step of the day, regardless of where they are in our country.
This message is for all political leaders, and if you're not one of them, please share this video with them because they need to hear this. Work together and find a solution, okay? You are not a bunch of little kindergartners who don't know how to share, all right? You don't need mommy and daddy coming to your class and telling you, this is how we play nicely. Stop. You're grown-ass adults. Figure out a way to work together and come up with solutions, okay? We need to stop this whole idea, oh, it's Republicans versus Democrats. I don't give a rip. It is Americans for Americans. And if you are not grown up enough to understand that fundamental issue, then that's a you problem and you need to be out of the office and give somebody who's a problem solver your place. You were elected to be a problem solver, not a problem announcer. And don't forget, you are a public servant. Don't get it twisted, all right? So get your head out of your butt, stop issuing excuses, and stop finger pointing and get to work. Both of you, all three of you, if we're including the ones in the middle, sit together and do a work group and come up with something that works for everybody. Plenty of us have to do this for our job. Here, let me help you. Okay, as someone who has to deal with issues for my job, I have to figure out gaps, identify the gaps, identify key stakeholders. In your case, it would be, of course, the legal folks who know, the ins and outs. It would be teachers at daycares, at regular public schools, high schools, universities, Christian small private schools. Those are your key stakeholders, okay? We also have emergency preparedness managers, directors, okay? That it could be even people who work in healthcare or at the airport. These are folks who have anxiety, probably like I do, and are very good at identifying issues and coming up with answers, okay? Other key stakeholders would be survivors. Look, I get it. We don't always see eye to eye. It's understandable, right? This is a massive country and we all have our beautiful American freedoms and we have a voice. But this is a critical issue, all right? And the idea of us versus them is not the place for this, okay? This is about saving American lives. This requires a bipartisan solution. And if you can't be part of the answer, then get out of the way. Stop being the type of person who just says, oh, we can't do this because of this. We can't do this because of this. Stop. Be a problem solver, okay? Think outside the box. I really hope you have the capacity, the aptitude to do this. Do you own the critical thinking skills to do this? Because if not, why are you in this office? Get out and let others who can think help with this solution. Another key stakeholder would be mental health specialists, okay? Police officers at the county level, okay? I get it. We have people on this side who says, we want our guns, we want our freedom. We have people on this side who say, look, we want to protect our people. I think we all want to protect our people. Unless you're an actual, like psychopath, nobody wants American children to die like this. Like, this is not something anyone wants. So fix it and stop finger pointing. Like, get it together, folks. Yes, it's a hard problem, but that's why you are in place, because you're supposed to be a person who can think and resolve hard problems. If not, it would just be regular, fast food employees in your position. And that's not the case. So use your critical thinking skills and think about your actual key objective. Saving American lives would be the key objective with this critical issue. Here's an example. Because I work in healthcare, I know for a fact that we must have a fire extinguisher every 75 feet. Period. All right, the NFPA requires that for us in a healthcare situation. Does there need to be some sort of standard for schools? Does there need to be a pull station, a fire alarm, but instead of it being for fire, it's for just any sort of emergency? What needs to be put in place? You have the capacity to think that and then communicate with those other agencies and get the ball rolling. Stop thinking, oh, well, we can't do. No. You can call, you can talk to people. You can get a group of folks together to come up with a solution. We know mental health is a huge problem. A lot of the folks doing this they're having their own mental health crisis. It could have been avoided if mental health was a service that was readily provided to all Americans. It's not. Can you make that happen? What is stopping you? Oh, the cost. Figure it out. Figure it out. Oh, well, we can put all these things in place, but you can't stop people from just being evil. You're right. I didn't say that. I'm not an idiot. So stop saying stupid things, okay? That's the mentality of a problem announcer versus a problem solver. Provide readily available information and resources to all states and to those county and community levels. Fiscal allocation to make our schools safer, because these schools can't pay for this stuff. That's just the case. What needs to happen is every single one of those folks need to take a big old bite of humble pie and realize that the answer doesn't lie on one person or one entity or one political affiliation. That's just not the case. We have to come together as an American people and find a solution because children are dying. We need to use the data, the trends, to identify those issues and come up with solutions. For example, why is it that so many of these incidents are caused by white dudes? Why? And don't get me wrong, I'm not finger pointing. I'm looking at the data. And here's the thing, this is how a problem solver functions, okay? They go, all right, this is our key demographic. What is something that's happening here versus not in other demographics? Okay, well, XYZ. You know, there's information. You can think and provide an answer. For example, as a Latina, I'm gonna tell you right now, there is no such thing as privacy. You live in my house, it's my house. Your room is my room. All right, your drawers, your diary, it's my house. It's my drawers, it's my diary. I know that sounds like an invasion of privacy, but it's not. You're my child. But that's how Latinos think. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just saying that is a difference, right, in our communities, in our demographics. Also, Latino parents will whoop their kids' butt. Do you have any idea how many times my butt got whooped as a kid? But you see what I'm saying? And I'm not saying kids have to be beat. Don't get my words wrong. I'm saying, what is the issue? Let's identify those key trends and figure out a solution, okay? I know I'm repeating myself, but so are the trends and the dying. So you can listen to a long video, because God knows I have to listen to all these sad, terrible stories all the time. The school year just started. So to summarize, this needs a bipartisan solution. You need to identify all the key stakeholders, not just the ones in your pocket who pay things, okay? You have to put your ego to the side, okay? Because this type of thing needs an answer and your ego cannot stand in the way, all right? And we have to see things from all perspectives, not just your tunnel vision perspective, okay? And I'm talking to all of us, all of our political affiliations. It doesn't matter. And lastly, before I start crying, all of the pain that you have caused these survivors, these parents, okay? All of the blood that has been shed from these innocent children, that is on your hands. And you will have to answer, all because you're unable to get your ego out of the way, because you're unable to stop finger pointing and just sit down and get to work. Those Republicans, those Democrats, they're not your enemy. They're supposed to be your co-workers. Work for a solution. Please. Please.